Hi, everybody. Welcome again to Right to the Top. I'm Adam. So today we're starting yet another video course stream. We've done vocabulary building, grammar, and syntax. Today we're going to start looking at writing styles, video lesson number 1. So this is an introduction to English writing. Okay, we're going to talk about a very general look at English writing. So first thing we have to understand is that not all writing is the same. Okay, we're going to have all types of different writings, and we're going to try to look at as many of these as we can in these videos to help you adjust your style, your syntax, your tools that you're going to use for different purposes. Now, the main thing you have to think about when writing is your purpose, your aim. Like, who are you trying to reach? What are you trying to do? The main thing is, are you trying to convince someone? Are you trying to persuade someone? Are you trying to enlighten someone, give them some information? Are you trying to play with someone's emotions? Are you, propagandizing is the better word, actually. All kinds of different things. So it depends on what you're doing will determine the type of writing you're going to do and the type of style you're going to use and structure, word choices, etc. Tone, formality. Are you writing in a business context where you have to be very professional? Are you writing to friends where you can be very casual? Are you writing on social media? Where you're writing will determine the tone, again, word choice, all that stuff. Length, style, depending. You're not going to write a 5-page blog post, but you're not going to write a 1-paragraph business report either, right? So it depends what you're writing will determine technical aspects of the writing as well. So word choice or jargon. Now, what is jargon? Jargon is very technical language that might only be familiar to people in that field, to people who know that topic. So if you're writing to a lay person, for example, about engineering, I don't know much about engineering, so you can't use all the technical engineering words because I won't know what you're saying. You have to simplify your language for me, the lay person, right? So that also determines how you're going to write. But probably the most important aspect of writing is knowing your audience. Who is going to read what you wrote? Will they understand it? Will they be interested? Will they agree or disagree with you? Will they laugh at you or praise you, right? It all depends on how you're approaching the topic, how you're approaching the formality, the structure, the word choice. All of these elements together come under the consideration of your reader. Now, more specifically, what do you have to think about when you think about your reader? You have to think about their patience. These days, especially younger people, don't have the patience to read very long texts. So you have to write shorter, more simplified, more direct, more absorbable text for them. How much time do they have to spend on reading what you wrote? What are their biases? Do they already lean left or lean right or lean whichever way they lean politically? Are they conservative or liberal, Democrats or Republicans or whatever political? Religious situations you have to consider. All of these are considered biases, things that are already set in their minds that you will have a very difficult time changing. So sometimes you just don't bother trying to change it. You're just trying to give them another perspective, for example. Distractions. If they're reading online, it's very easy to click a button and move away from your text. You want to hold their attention. Alternatives. Maybe what you're writing is important to them, but maybe somebody else is also writing about it and they'd rather read that person's text. Their preferences, their familiarity with the topic, their experiences, all of these things affect the way you write and what you write and how you write. And we're going to look at all of these as deeply as we can. So in terms of this course, let's see some of the things we're going to be looking at. We're going to look at different types of writing. For example, we're going to look at an essay, an academic essay, a literary essay, or creative essay. Again, it depends who you're writing to. If you're applying to a university, you're going to write a very specific type of essay, a statement. If you're doing homework in school, you're going to write a very academic essay. If you're writing to a magazine for entertainment purposes or just for, interest, it could be more of a literary essay, etc. Letters, cover letters to apply for a job, reference letter to help someone get a job or to get into school. If you had a job interview, you should write a thank you letter or a thank you email, different type of writing. articles, blogs, personal article or blog, a journal or a magazine, even an academic one if you're writing for an academic journal. Business writing. Business has all types of different writing, and they all require a different structure and approach. An email, a memo, an announcement, a report, all of these have their little, idiosyncrasies. Idiosyncrasies are small little features or differences that make them what they are. If you have to give a speech, yes, you will be speaking, but if you want to give a good speech, you have to write your speech first and practice it, rehearse it. If you're giving a presentation at a business meeting or a sales presentation, if you're going to be giving a TED Talk, and by the way, I gave a TED Talk not too long ago, and if you haven't seen it, there's a link up there, you can watch that. If you have to give a lecture in front of students or in front of a conference, etc., different types of structures to your speech, but still you have to write it out. Captions. Now you're thinking, okay, first of all, what is a caption? You know, in your Instagram post or the Instagram post you look at, somebody always writes a little bit of something. That's called a caption. Or if you see a photo in a newspaper, underneath it explains a little bit what you're seeing in the photo. Those captions are not easy to write if you want them to get engagement. So we're going to look at how to write a caption, very short, but dense and effective and attractive, right? Stories. If we get time, we'll get into a bit more creative writing too. Long story, short story, even creative nonfiction we can look at as well. And we're going to look at the different elements of writing, the technical elements, how to plan, because you must plan before you start to write, how to organize or structure your text, targeted choices, basically thinking about your audience and writing to them in a particular style, particular word choices, etc. And of course, editing and revising. You cannot have good texts without editing or revising. Never submit, never post a first draft. Always edit, but we'll talk about that as well. And of course, styling. We're going to look at what is rhetoric. Rhetoric is a very important tool in both writing and speaking, and we're going to look at some of the elements of that. How to write a hook, the opening sentence of a statement, an essay, an email, a cover letter, etc. How to give cues, how to give foreshadowing, like telling them what to expect, what's coming. How to appeal to the person's senses. You know, even though they're reading, you still want to make them smell something. You want to make them see something using the right adjectives, the right constructions of sentences, the right syntax, etc. Appeals to emotions, appeals to logic. All of these have particular approaches and styles and tools, and we're going to try to look at as many of these as we can. Now, whatever you're writing, there is a certain element that applies to all types of writing. Now, you've heard me mention before the 3 C's, the 3 C's, be clear, be concise, be correct. Well, today I want to actually expand on that a little bit, and I promise you won't hear me mention the 3 C's so often again after this. So the one common element to all writing is not just the 3 C's, it's the C tree. And for whatever reason, coincidentally, there are a lot of words that begin with C that actually apply to the C tree. So let's look at that. We're going to start with craftsmanship. In order to write well, you have to have the right tools. If you're going to build a beautiful house, you first need to know how to hold and use a hammer, right? That's what we're going to do here. We're going to look at the different tools you're going to use in your writing. So we're going to be clear, concise, and correct. But even deeper, clarity means being cohesive, making sure ideas connect to one another. Complete, make sure you're not missing information, even grammatically. If you have a transitive verb, the reader is waiting for that object to come and complete it. If you don't have it, something's missing, or a piece of information is missing. If you're making too many assumptions and hoping that the reader will fill in the blanks, that makes your writing not clear. And consider it. Always think about your audience. Can they understand this? Do they care? Are they going to be interested, etc.? All of these things create clarity in your writing. Concise. Concise basically means be short. Be as short as possible. Use as few words as you can to convey as much information as you can. So you want to be colorful. You want to use good adjectives, good idioms, good collocations, good structures to create a very vivid picture in the reader's mind without using too many words. You want to be coherent. They must be able to understand what you're saying. So if you're using too many words, it's very easy for them to get lost in all the words. So being short is actually better. Being simpler is actually better. And a lot of people think that writing in a simple way is easier. It's much harder than writing complicated texts. And we'll see that as well. And clean. Make sure your grammar is good, your punctuation is effective, and your word choices are very powerful. And all of this will help you create concision. And then lastly, be correct. First of all, be credible. Make sure that there's a reason for me to believe you or trust you in what you're saying. Either you're qualified or you have very good research or information to back up your ideas. Be concrete, means don't be abstract. Tell them exactly what you want them to understand and be convincing about it. If I doubt what you're saying, I'm going to doubt everything, and then your whole writing is actually bad. I doubt you, I doubt your writing. So you want to be correct. And when you look at all of this together, what is the ultimate aim? Communication. Everything works to communicate ideas and to reach your target audience. Your idea to your reader, right? That's what good writing is all about. And all types of writing, from essay to email to caption, need all of these elements in them to create effective text, okay? So where are we gonna start? In our next video, we're gonna start with the university applications. I know this is the time of year people are starting to think about applying to universities. So we're gonna understand the differences between personal statement, statement of purpose, personal statement of purpose, sometimes they ask for that, statement of intent, letter of intent, motivation letter, and supplementary essays. I'm going to tell you all the differences and how you should start approaching and preparing to write all of these. And I'm going to talk about different types of writing, different elements of writing with each different video, okay? So the next video is going to be IELTS and TOEFL, but the next video in this series will be the differences among these different university essays. So until then, if you like this video, give me a like. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and click the notification button so you know when new videos are coming up. And I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye.